Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through the noise to get you the real insights. Today, we're looking at something, well, pretty crucial if you're involved in any kind of large-scale project. Get this for a statistic. Apparently, 9 out of 10 major capital projects still don't hit their marks. We're talking performance, schedule, budget, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking, really, especially when you think about all the sophisticated project management we have now, decades of it.
Exactly, and you've got these project management offices, PMOs, right at the center, tracking the money, managing the timelines, coordinating everything.
They do that part really well, administering the plan, keeping the trains running on time, so to speak. But the argument we're digging into today is pretty strong. Projects don't actually blow up at the finish line. They fail much, much earlier, like right back at the planning stage.
So it's not about having fancier tracking software or more reports.
Apparently not. The core issue seems to be this lack of a really clear, direct line of sight to the actual outcome. What is the thing supposed to do? PMOs, they're masters of the how of the process, but maybe they don't always have that deep operational insight to really define or deliver the final result.
Okay, so if the traditional way, the PMO way, isn't always getting us the result we need,
Yeah.
what's missing? And that's where this idea of outcome assurance comes in.
That's it. It's this emerging approach, maybe even a new authority that's designed to completely flip things around.
Flip the script how?
By shifting the focus, moving away from just managing activities, ticking boxes, towards actually guaranteeing that end state, the thing working as intended.
Making sure the project delivers the outcome, not just the outputs.
Precisely. It's about delivering the result, not just managing the process.
All right, so in this deep dive, we're going to unpack what outcome assurance actually is, why it's becoming so vital now, and, this is interesting, who the kind of unexpected leaders are turning out to be.
Yeah, that part's fascinating.
Let's get into it.
You're listening to the Industrial Commissioning Association podcast, where we discuss best practices for industrial plant process and energy system commissioning. Get ready to say no to outdated industry norms and say yes to improved project performance. Here's your host, Paul Turner.
Okay, so why do projects still fall short so often? A big piece of this, according to our sources, is what they call the outputs trap.
The outputs trap, what does that mean?
Well, it means traditional project governance gets really fixated on the outputs. Hitting milestones, declaring mechanical completion, showing construction progress, things you can easily measure and report.
And those things are important, obviously.
Yeah.
Need to build the thing.
Absolutely. They're vital steps. But here's the problem, the gap.
Okay.
None of those outputs, just by themselves, actually guarantee that the finished facility or system or whatever it is will operate properly on day one.
Right. You can have all the pieces built, signed off, looks great on paper.
Exactly. Looks great. But do the systems actually talk to each other smoothly? Are the people who need to run it, the operators, truly ready, confident?
It's like that analogy, building a fantastic-looking car, but with square wheels. It ticks all the boxes in the factory.
But it's useless on the road. And that highlights this, potentially terrifying gap between saying a project is complete and having something that's actually operational.
And the PMO, good as they are at managing the plan?
They often just don't have that really deep hands-on operational insight. Their world is usually contracts, schedules, budgets, not necessarily the nitty-gritty of how complex systems need to work together in the real world.
Which leads us back to outcome assurance.
Yeah.
How does it reorient things?
It flips the script, as you said. Instead of starting with step 1, task A, it starts right at the end.
At the finish line.
Yeah, it begins with defining what done really looks like, which means systems that work, provably work, operators who are trained, confident, ready, and performance that you can actually sustain.
So you're reverse engineering from the successful outcome.
In a way, yes. It completely reframes what leadership on the project means. It's not just about managing the build, it's about ensuring those critical end state elements are achieved.
Like systems working properly.
People ready.
Performance verified.
And a handover to operations that's smooth and confident. It's about getting to the ready state, not just ticking off the completed state.
Okay, that makes sense. And achieving that kind of operational success, it seems like it needs more than just good planning. It needs specific expertise.
Definitely. And outcome assurance pulls in 3 specific disciplines. Disciplines that, honestly, often get pushed to the end or treated as afterthoughts in traditional projects.
And this is the ICR framework you mentioned.
Exactly. ICR. It stands for Integration, Commissioning, and Operational Readiness.
Okay, let's break those down. Integration, what does that cover?
Integration is all about making sure the different systems, mechanical, electrical, control systems, software, actually function together safely, seamlessly, and that they're tested together, not just in isolation.
Not just checking if individual parts work, but if the whole machine runs smoothly.
Precisely. Then you have commissioning.
And commissioning isn't just flicking the power switch, I assume.
No, definitely not. This is the real stress test. It's about verifying all the operating modes, pushing the systems under real-world conditions, or as close as you can get, making sure it performs as designed when things get tough, not just under ideal circumstances.
Putting it through its paces properly.
You got it. And the final piece is operational readiness.
Or
What's that? This focuses squarely on the long game. Are the people ready? Do they have the right training, the right procedures? Are the maintenance plans in place? Are the digital systems, the asset management tools all set up? It's about ensuring you can sustain performance after the project team leaves.
So integration gets things working together, commissioning proves they work under pressure, and operational readiness makes sure people and processes can keep it working.
That's a great summary. And those three ICOR, they form this ICOR framework. And the sources we looked at position this as the absolute bedrock, the foundation of outcome assurance.
So if the PMO isn't necessarily driving this outcome focus, who is? Who are the leaders in this outcome assurance world?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting and maybe counterintuitive for some. The sources point very clearly towards commissioning professionals.
Commissioning folks, the ones doing the testing at the end.
Yes, but their role is framed much more broadly here. They're seen as the ones who truly deliver the operational project. Think about their perspective.
Okay.
They're the ones literally standing in the control room when the systems go live. They're the ones facing the operators when something inevitably hiccups or fails.
They see the consequences firsthand.
Exactly. And crucially, they often know what should have been done months earlier to prevent that failure. They live in that gap between the project plan and the operational reality. They see where the blueprints didn't quite match the real world.
So they have this unique practical wisdom.
That's the argument. They understand how to bridge that gap because they've seen it. They've wrestled with it.
So this kind of outcome assurance, it demands a different leadership style then, not just administration.
Absolutely. It's less about being a pure administrator or a contract manager and much more about having a deep understanding of complex operational systems. It's about understanding the human factors, training, procedures. It's about risk, about long-term sustainability. It really requires people who've, done it. People with that hands-on, boots-on-the-ground experience.
People who've seen what working actually looks like.
And what not working looks like too, and why.
So how do you actually implement this? If it starts early, what does that look like? It can't just be the commissioning team showing up at the end.
No, not at all. The whole point is it leads from the front. It's embedded right from the beginning.
Okay, like how? What are the practical steps?
Well, from day one, you're thinking about the outcome. So things like aligning the design specs, the procurement contracts, even the construction agreements with clear outcome-based requirements. Not just build this thing, but build this thing to achieve this result.
So the contracts themselves reflect the final goal.
Yes. And you're sequencing the work differently, too, planning the scope specifically to make sure systems are ready for integration and testing throughout the project, not just piling it all up at the end.
Building in checks along the way.
Exactly. Yeah. Embedding assurance checkpoints right from the start. And crucial things like operator training, setting up the asset management system, getting the documentation right that gets built into the main plan from the beginning.
Instead of being a frantic scramble in the last few weeks.
Precisely. Which happens way too often.
Yeah.
This whole approach represents a really fundamental shift in where the accountability lies.
From managing the activity
to managing the result. It's about owning the outcome, not just supervising the tasks.
Okay, so this has big implications for the traditional PMO structure then. Where do they fit in this outcome era, as the sources call it?
It's a really important question. And the message isn't about creating conflict or competition between PMOs and, say, commissioning teams. It's framed more around capability, meaning PMOs have core strengths, but delivering the operational outcome might not be one of them, historically speaking. So if PMOs want to stay central and, frankly, relevant in this evolving landscape,
they need to adapt.
They need to integrate outcome assurance right into their core governance model. They need to embrace it.
And what does that look like practically? Does it mean the PMO needs to hire a bunch of commissioning experts?
Not necessarily hiring them into the PMO, but empowering them. It means the PMO might need to relinquish direct control over certain technical assurance activities that maybe they weren't best equipped to lead anyway.
And instead,
Empower those experienced commissioning leaders as outcome authorities. Embed them early. Give them the mandate to define that end state and basically reverse engineer the path to get there, guiding the whole project team.
because the logic is.
The logic, as one source put it quite powerfully, is only those who have delivered the outcome can design the path to get there. You need that lived experience.
So the outcome era demands leadership from those who understand the destination intimately.
That's the core idea. And these commissioning leaders are being positioned as the ones who need to step up and lead the way now.
It sounds like outcome assurance is more than just a process change or adding a new team.
Oh, much more. It's really presented as a kind of leadership philosophy, a mindset shift.
A philosophy based on what?
Well, it recognizes that true project success, the kind that sticks, needs a few key things. It needs deep systems thinking, understanding how everything connects.
Okay.
It needs life cycle alignment, thinking about operations and maintenance right from the design phase. It definitely needs human readiness, focusing on the people, the training, the culture.
And crucially,
It needs bold leaders. Leaders who are willing to take ownership of the final result, not just hide behind managing the process.
owning the outcome itself.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
significant shift.
Yeah.
And our sources also mention the Institute of Commissioning and Assurance, the ICXA.
Right. What's their role?
They're working to basically professionalize this,
Yeah.
raising the standard for outcome assurance, creating certifications for people who can actually deliver it, and helping companies build this capability into how they run all their major projects.
So standardizing and spreading the approach.
Exactly. Institutionalizing.
Okay. So wrapping this up then,
Yeah.
this has been a really insightful look at a major shift happening in project management.
It really is a fundamental change, moving away from just focusing on the outputs, the milestones.
Towards this idea of outcome assurance, starting with the end in mind, defining that operational success first.
And recognizing the absolutely vital role of those commissioning leaders, the ones with the hands-on experience, in actually guaranteeing that success. They're not just testers at the end, they're potentially the architects of the outcome.
It really makes you think about how that focus on the end result versus just the steps applies much more broadly, doesn't it? Not just for billion-dollar plants.
Absolutely.
So here's something for you, the listener, to maybe chew on after this. How could shifting your focus away from just managing your to-do list or the activities towards ensuring a specific desired outcome, how could that change how you approach things, whether it's a personal project, a goal for your team at work, maybe even just planning your week? What early actions could you take right now to start reverse engineering the successful result you're aiming for? Something to think about.
Thanks for listening. To become a member of the Industrial Commissioning Association, visit icxa.net. Members get access to commissioning standards, procurement specifications, commissioning training and certification, plus many more specialized resources to help you with commissioning of your industrial plant process and energy systems. Visit icxa.net for more information.